Okay. For my senior project, I decided to do a creative project. So I decided to write a script. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. Basically, what it's about, here's the law line. Basically, it's about a manipulative detective deceiving everyone by attempting to frame his partner and another man for a homicide he committed himself. There's a little bit more about it. Detective Lawrence is called to the scene of a destroyed house and then learns it could be a possible homicide of Julie McGregor. Detective Lawrence then questions Aaron Matthews, who is Julie McGregor's boyfriend, the victim's boyfriend, after a tip from one of the neighbors that Aaron was a possible suspect. So throughout the script, Detective Lawrence investigates along with his partner and longtime friend, Detective Matt Smith, who is behind the heinous crime. Detective Smith found out that Detective Lawrence had contact with the victim, which ultimately causes Detective Smith became increasingly suspicious of Detective Lawrence as Detective Lawrence tries to suppress how well he knows the victim. Detective Smith then works privately to try to connect the murder to Detective Lawrence. Through a tip of Julie McGregor's friend, Detective Lawrence finds out that Detective Smith knew the victim as well, and there is a race between Aaron Matthews, Detective Smith, and Detective Lawrence to see who's guilty. So basically, throughout the script, they're trying to prove each other that one of them is guilty for committing the crime. I'm about to show, in the scene you're about to watch, is the first encounter with Aaron Matthews. Detective Lawrence and Detective Smith will be questioning Aaron Matthews. Okay. And this is after learning from a witness that Aaron Matthews was the boyfriend of the victim, Julie McGregor. All right. So this is the language. Okay.
You probably need to turn up the sound.
There's a knob over there on the screen.
Yeah.
Mr. Matthews? Mr. Matthews? Mr. Matthews? Mr. Matthews? Yes. How you doing? I'll take Brian Lawrence. This is Matt Smith. We're going to ask you a question about moving quick. Hope you don't mind us having a seat. This 3-bedroom house seems to be extremely satisfying. And blown his or her face when the masterpiece came to life.
Yes, inside the place is almost perfect. The design of the kitchen is spectacular. This place almost belongs on the hills of Hollywood. Now, I understand that this carpet has nothing to do with the architect, but damn, you're an architect yourself. I mean, this must be an echelon.
You guys are so into designers these days. I mean, A rug is a rug, right? Right? Here's the thing. On my salary, and I pay pretty well. The perks are low. And I can't even afford such a beautiful and wonderful home like this. I mean, what's the name of the rug you said? A croissant.
I thought you came here to ask questions about jewelry.
We did, Mr. Matthews. You see, I'm a man of art, and I was just blown away by the beauty of your home.
If you don't have any questions or leads that's got to do with jewelry, then I'd appreciate it if you left.
Now look, I'm sorry about what happened to you. Truly I am. But we have other problems at hand.
Really?
Yes, apparently you have a history with that. Well, I'm not into the art side, my partner here. I'm into reading bullshit. And I've read more than enough bullshit in my day. And I'm a pretty old guy, so you know I'm not joking.
What's the point?
The point is, I'm not convinced the slightest bit that you bought this house with the money you made.
Are you insinuating here, Detective?
I'm not insinuating anything. Should I be?
If you don't have any more questions or leads, I'd appreciate it if you left.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Yes, Salon, man. Really?
Hey, I don't have the slightest clue about drugs, okay? I say what I do.
Look, next time, let me speak on more things I know about.
It's not like we knew it was gonna be questions about it.
What do you think?
If you're referring to which we showed up here in the first place, of course, I'd say he's guilty.
Okay, so basically that scene was just about it's basically the first interrogation. You know, they got their first tip from a witness, a neighbor actually, and they found out that, you know, she was the last person. Her boyfriend was, you know, the last person she was seen with. So they decided to interrogate him on what he knew about it. But in the scene, they knew he had a history for. Like if you actually read the script, you would understand. Like he has a history of drug problems in the back. So that's what this whole scene was about. They was interrogating him. You know, that's why he wasn't convinced on the house. That's why they was talking about the house, how beautiful the house was. So basically, they wanted to bring up his history and explain that's why, Julie, he must have had something to do with Julie McGregor's death. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my writing process. It took me roughly about 3 months to write the script, and what I've learned after writing the script is that you encounter many challenges, especially when writing the first draft, because you always want to change. You always want to make changes because new ideas always come to your head. You always want to make changes. But I learned that you have to just keep writing and then make necessary changes afterwards, after the first draft. I wrote an outline. When I first started the script, I wrote an outline, a detailed outline. I wrote a list of the characters along with their descriptions so I can imagine them while I was writing. The outline helped me stick to the script, and I wrote feverishly as I completed my first script. Any questions? So, special thanks to Khalil. He the one that helped me shot it, and he edited the video.